Okay. Okay, I'm live on Facebook and YouTube very soon. YouTube very soon. Yes. All right, officially live on Facebook and YouTube. Okay, great. This is great. I'm gonna scoot back a little bit. If you have any questions, just comment in the comment section. Happy, beautiful Saturday morning, or if you're watching in another country, maybe it's Sunday morning or Saturday night or whatever it may be. But it is a beautiful Saturday morning here in Los Angeles, California. It's sunny. It was raining earlier this week, but now it's sunny and shining and the way it should be in Los Angeles. So here it is. I wanted to talk about the art of communication and why it freaking matters in the first place. If you are wondering that, and my personal belief on it, because of course it's going to be different for everybody. But I truly believe that only you know what your intentions are at all given times. You, or if you believe in a spiritual entity, then the spiritual entity believes in, or the spiritual entity would know what your intentions are. But besides yourself, and your spiritual entity, if you believe, then nobody else, no human being knows what your intentions truly are. And the only way that you can communicate your intentions is by either speaking, body language, written form, but you have to somehow transfer your intentions to another person. You have to somehow do it. Hi, Dulal. I hope I'm saying that right. What's going on? And hey, Leolo. Hey, Joanna. Yeah, okay. Thank you for coming on. If you have any questions, then chat below. I'm talking about the art of communication and why it matters to me. But the point being that the better you are of communicating what your intentions are, the more you're able to connect with people. And because we're social animals, it makes sense that we want to innately do this. For me, I think about it as an art form. So think about a beautiful painting and you're thinking to yourself, this is a wonderful, beautiful painting. But if you're not an artist yourself or never studied art, you're going to look at that painting and think, oh, well, this is quite aesthetically pleasing, or maybe it looks horrible to you, right? But you have some sort of opinion on it, but you don't know the minor details of it. You don't know what makes this painting unique or different, or why it's aesthetically pleasing in the first place. And oftentimes an artist can point out exactly, oh, mathematically, it's because this shape forms with this shape. These colors go really well with these other colors. And so they're utilizing all these different techniques into one single painting. And only somebody with that knowledge can point it out. And a person who's just walking by, looking at the painting, they can only formulate an opinion on it, but they might not know the details of it. I think about it the same way of communication, where unless you know and unless you study, you probably have no idea why you trust a person or you don't trust a person. For example, sometimes, tell me if I'm wrong, comment below, you just meet somebody and you instantly, something about them is just not quite right. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know why, but something's telling me that this person isn't quite right, or this person isn't my kind of people, whatever that means to you. And a lot of times it's because of the micro expressions or micro body language that they do. And so it's not so obvious because they're trying to prevent doing certain things, but you pick up on those micro cues. And I can go into that into later videos or whatnot with micro expressions and whatnot. It's how you can tell somebody's lying to you, actually. But besides that, you can tell, and your brain naturally picks up on these things, but you might not logically be able to say, oh, it's because their eye just squinched just a little bit for a microsecond. You might not be able to communicate what that is, but for some reason you innately know that they did something or something seems off. And that's what I think about as communication, is that even though you might not know why you feel the way you do or why you think the way you do when you interact with other people, there is an exact reasoning for each and every single thing that you think and you feel when it comes to relational aspects. And so what I'm just trying to point out is what those things actually are. So you can break down whether especially something with lying, either they're just nervous because this is a nerve-wracking situation, or they're actually lying to you. So going into lying, if you're interested in that and how you could tell somebody's lying, there's a baseline. You have to establish what their personality baseline is. So maybe I'm the type of person who's naturally more nervous. And so I have a lot of nervous tics and I keep doing nervous tics. But if that's my baseline and that's just how I operate, that's how I usually am. If I keep doing that, it doesn't mean that I'm lying. It just means that that's my personality, that's my baseline. But it's what you do that's outside of that norm that makes you or gives you a hint or red flag to say, oh, this person might be lying and they're showing extra nervous tics or different kinds of nervous tics that can indicate that they're lying. But if they're just a nervous person in the first place and they naturally do all these nervous tics, that's going to be part of their baseline. Okay, Adam. Hey, Tina, do you have any tips for being more comfortable talking to a camera? Yes. you just got to talk to the camera. For me personally, I actually, back in the day, I did take a on-camera course, and I was notably, from the teacher, the worst person in class, and possibly the worst person he's ever met doing on-camera work, because we had to do cold reading and transcript reading. So I personally had very extreme low confidence in talking on camera. But it wasn't until I just kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it and practicing and practicing. Of course, I did have the knowledge of certain techniques that the class taught me in the first place. So I did have that background, but that background means nothing unless you practice it. So you can watch some of my videos on being charismatic on camera, and then just take those tools and practice on camera, because that's what's going to make you the best person on camera, because it's about being authentic. It's about communicating, which is what I'm talking about, and being as less nervous as you possibly can, although there's going to be some nervousness, I think, but I mean, you're just a human. Yes, practice, practice, practice. Thank you, Catherine. Yeah, so that being said, when it comes to the art of communication, whether it's on camera or whether it's in person or whether it's on stage, and as some of you may know, I spoke on stage with over 1,000 people watching me, and there was not a single moment where I felt nervous. But why is that? Is it because I'm so confident I never feel nervous? Of course not. Of course, that's not the situation. It's because I practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced. And when I went on stage before and I had time to walk the stage, I walked on stage. And then I also went in the audience and I touched every single seat in that audience. That's over 1,000 seats, by the way. I touched every single seat in that audience before I went on stage. And I did that every single morning, because it was 3 days for that event specifically. And other times I have spoken on stage, I've done similar things where I would just walk the area, get comfortable with the area. So if it's camera equipment, you also have to get comfortable with the camera equipment. And if it's another person, you have to get comfortable with the other person. And the more you get comfortable in general with just one person, you're more easily able to get comfortable with another event. So whether it's not the same stage anymore, but now you're more comfortable being on stage. It's not the same camera because now I'm using a different production crew, which I've done, but I'm used to being on camera. So even though it's not the same exact equipment, I'm a little bit more comfortable. So at the end of the day, in communication in general, it's just about practicing. Hi, Alice. And comment below where you're tuning in from, because I'd like to know. I'm again from Los Angeles, California. So it's the morning time. It is sunny, it is bright and wonderful. And if you're in quarantine, then, good on you. Stay safe, everybody. Let's see. Hey, Tina, how do we network well with people without being too flashy? Praneet, I hope I'm saying that right. Without being too flashy, I don't know what you mean by flashy, but is it in terms of being too in your face? Comment below, let me know what you mean by that. Hey, Steve, happy Saturday, tuning in from Germany. Welcome. Germany is a great place. Actually, my background is I'm half German. For those of you who don't know, I'm half Japanese and I'm also half German. So that's great. I didn't know you were from Germany. Yeah. All right. Okay, so I mean, I'll address the flashy thing. In terms of if you're wearing flashy clothing, I think it's a good thing. If you are not too flashy, not crazy flashy, but if you want to look good, like say if you're a man, you have a wear nice freaking suit that's customized, it's tailored, whatever. For women, same deal. It's a fitting outfit and it aligns, everything looks great. I think that's good. And I think that's fine. And there's nothing flashy about that. If it's in terms of communication in which you're talking to somebody and you're trying to show off in some way, like name dropping, which is very interesting because I grew up in Los Angeles, California. If I think about it, the reason why I don't name drop or I don't post certain pictures of certain people that I know is because I really, really try to avoid being flashy in some way or doing name drops and things like that. And so oftentimes you'll even hear me say, I know somebody who has this, or I know, and I don't necessarily say people's name. And I've just been taught to do that over the course of years and years, because I know that I'm always at least 2, 3, 4 people away from connecting to possibly everybody that's some sort of A-list something. And because I've been always aware of that, I also never talked badly on any celebrities. For example, Kim Kardashian. I know actually a lot of people who are somehow connected to Kim herself and who have worked with her or who are friends with her, and of course her whole family, right? But so it's the same reason why if somebody says anything bad or negative, I'm never going to jump on that bandwagon, because I know that it would hurt people that I love and care about. And again, it's only a few deviations away. And that's one example, but anybody else that just you wouldn't even think about them or an author that a book I just read. And then I find out, oh, actually this person knows this person who knows that person. And there's no way I could have known that. So I always try to stay away from being flashy, name dropping, or posting pictures. I think my social media, you'll see that I only post myself and very, very few other people on my social media. It's not because I don't know other people in my life. It's because I really try to have my own photos and my own private life in some ways. And then I publicize what I think is appropriate. We have a deep enough understanding that I'm not doing this to show off. And you have to know what that balance is for yourself. And oftentimes you feel it. Oh, hello, Nandini. Nandini, I am good, thank you. Hello, Adam from Newfoundland, Canada. Newfoundland. Wow, okay. I don't know where that is. And Italian in Australia, Eric. Oh, great. Okay, so you're in Italy, you went to Australia. Alice, you're in the UK, staying safe. Great. Early summer, but today's windy, overcast. Yeah, it doesn't matter because we are alive. Yes. Hi, Tina, still in Canada. Great to see you again, Lynette. Okay, oh, hey, Lynette, how are you? East Coast of Canada, Vince. I like how you just say East Coast. Just know it's on that side. All right, Vince. Great helpful tip. Praneet, thank you. Yes. From India, Dulal. India, how's everything for you in Los Angeles? Los Angeles is wonderful. It's been so spectacular and so great. Just the people over here, if I've been taking walks, safe walks, quarantine walks, right? Social distancing and all of that. But it's surprising how I would have normally not seen all of my neighbors. And even though we don't stop and talk, but just saying hello or a head nod or good morning, that alone makes me feel so connected to everybody that's in my neighborhood that I didn't even know who's in my neighborhood because I never took walks before. Well, I have in other places I lived, but just not at this specific location. So it's just been so nice. And seeing kids with their parents and biking around or walking with their dog, it's just been incredible to see a community, even though we're apart, so to speak. And that's what I love about, I was thinking about this the other day, but okay, saying hi to a stranger, saying hello to a stranger is something I think we take for granted sometimes because we tend to just keep to our little circle and our little bubble and want to talk to the same people over and over. But I just find it so incredible to talk to strangers because they have their own story. And even if it's just a hello, it's just a greeting, you don't know whose day you're making. And oftentimes for me, it makes my day that, wow, I just been acknowledged and they acknowledged me. They acknowledged my existence. And if you're feeling lonely or if you're feeling disconnected in this time, it goes back to communicating. That's how we connect with people. So even if it's you're walking down the street and you don't even say hi, you just do a head nod, which oftentimes I do because I'm listening to something. So I don't necessarily hear them, but I'll do a head nod. I'll do this, right? And it's just a little body language acknowledgement that I see you. And then they do it back and it's like, I see you, you see me. And sometimes that's all we want in life is to be seen and to have that acknowledgement that I am here and I acknowledge that you are here too. And there's just something so beautiful and wonderful about that I just hope even throughout these times, especially throughout these times, that we do that. So whether it's even on social media or it's when you're walking in your neighborhood and whatever it is, I think it'll be good. Oh, for some reason, my camera turned off on YouTube. oh, okay. Well, it's not working right now, but don't worry, you can hear me. You can hear me. I'm going to wrap it up here, but thank you so much for coming on. And if you're on my Facebook, come to my YouTube. Come to my YouTube, check it out. I've done a lot of recent videos that I think would be great. Tongue exercises for clear speech. I also did a executive functioning video, which explains how your brain works and how you can improve upon that through verbal fluency. So check that out. Come to my YouTube. It's youtube.com/Tina Leader, or you could just look up Lady Tina. I have rebranded myself to Lady Tina just because it resonates with me and I just like it, to be quite honest. So come on over, and it's really nice to see a lot of you because yeah, some of you I've just seen you around. We've spoken on social media, or we've gone on phone calls together. Lynette, it's great to see you. It's great to see you. All right, so thank you everybody for coming on, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.